Hi guys, how you going? Today I thought I would finally do a video on approaching an agency, a modelling agency, and there's just a few quick tips that I thought I could let you guys know about approaching an agency, because it is a little bit daunting at first when you first have to sort of send that email off and you're not sure what the reply is going to be or really how to go about it in general. So I've just got a few quick tips here for you guys. So to start off, sending an email is the best option. Phone calls, a lot of agencies don't want to deal with, answering phone calls all the time from photographers wanting to do test shoots with their models. So I would probably suggest just emailing first off. I have tried calling before, but sometimes they don't even answer the phone. So yeah, definitely try emailing. It's a lot better and it's a lot easier to communicate what you want with the shoot and what you're after. So yeah, best option is to send an email. So with the email, it's best to write a formal paragraph. It doesn't need to be overly long or anything like that. Keep it short and simple. So just basically include who you are and what sort of photography you do. Definitely include links to your work, because that's really important. People in agencies, bookers want to see your work first to make sure that you're not just any photographer off the street, or you've been only doing it for 2 days or something like that. So definitely include links to your best work and let them know that you've been doing it for a little while. And just tell them a little bit about your experience with photography so far as well. And usually in the email, I would generally go about doing this by saying, look, I've got some photo shoots planned in the future and I would love to use some of your new faces. So new faces are newer girls to the agencies, so they don't have as much in their portfolios, and agency bookers will generally be willing more so to let you use girls that have been newer to the agency and that don't have as much work in their portfolios. So yeah, definitely include that. If it's maybe your first time working with an agency model or first time sending an email off, it would probably be useful to include that. Okay, and also provide them with any information about your upcoming shoots. So definitely with a mood board would be a great start. Usually agencies will always want to see mood boards. So just so you can communicate the shoot across to them, and they can generally do a better selection of girls that they think might suit the shoot as well. So yeah, definitely include a mood board, and it just seems more organised as well, so I think they'll be more willing to let you use one of their models if you're seemingly organised. Okay, and they may give you a selection of girls to start off with from the agency that they are willing to let you use for a shoot. Don't be afraid to say no to any of the models that they've picked. I mean, maybe the first few times that you contact an agency, you do tend to, when I first started doing that, I would kind of just use, one of the girls that they send me in the selection. And sometimes that doesn't really work out well, especially if you don't feel the girls that they've picked are suited to your shoot. So don't be afraid to say no, that you don't feel like they're going to suit the shoot. But maybe just do it in a polite way and say, do you have any other selection of girls? Maybe I'm really looking for someone like this for the shoot, and maybe they can send you another small selection of girls. Okay, and it's really important to be specific with meeting times and places for the shoot. You don't want the model getting lost on the day or not being able to find where you actually are. So I always like to include a map in a call sheet. So that's something else that agencies will always require a lot of the time, is a call sheet. So a call sheet's just basically all the details of the shoot in one document. I've got a video actually on call sheets and mood boards if you'd like to watch that at some stage, but yeah, a call sheet is usually required with agencies, so then the agency will generally pass that on to the model, and the model will be able to see the details as well. And be sure to include your contact details on the call sheet. It's really important, just in case the model does get lost and they need to contact you for whatever reason, or if the agency needs to contact you on the day due to weather or anything like that. So definitely include your contact details. And on that note, you can politely ask if it's okay to get the model's contact details. This isn't always an option because generally agencies don't like to hand out their model's details. But sometimes it can really help if you've got their phone number at least, especially if you need to contact them directly on the day. It just makes life easier, but I mean, like I said, sometimes that's not always an option. After the shoot, always try to give the agencies feedback on how the shoot went and how you felt the model went. Especially if they've really stuck it out throughout the day and not complained, you know, it's always nice to kind of let the agency know, you know, they did so well, you know, let them know that they were awesome on the day and stuff like that. They like to hear that. Or if they do need improvements in any areas, sometimes they like to hear that too, just so they know how to go about, you know, with having their models in different shoots in future, and, you know, tips that they can give the models as well. So it's always good to just let them know, you know, if they do need anything improved. So yeah, I would probably always do that, but generally with the newer models. So if you're working with a new face, if you're working with a model that's been in the industry already for, you know, 5-6 years, you know, generally they don't always want to hear feedback. So yeah, just try and stick to newer models when you want to give feedback on shoots. Okay, and it's also important to give them an estimated time of when the images are going to be ready and edited. I always like to give them a preview, if possible, within like the first couple of days, just so they know that things are moving along and you're not actually doing nothing with the shoot, it's just being left there. So yeah, generally try to give them a preview within the first week of after the shoot, but yeah, and also an estimated time of when the images are going to be finished. And also don't give them too many images. Like, agencies don't want to be looking through 60 images that you've taken or anything like that. So I generally only give around 10 to 15 edited images, and make sure that it's your best work as well. You want to make sure you give them the best images, because a lot of the time those images are going to be displayed on the agency's website, and you want your best work to be on there too. And I mean, sometimes the agencies don't use the photos at all, so you really want your best work to be displayed and you want them to put them on the website. And it's just really important to try not to take too long with image turnaround. I know some photographers that haven't given photos to agencies for months and months afterwards, like after a shoot, and really 10 to 15 images is doable. I mean, you know, of course everyone gets busy, but especially when you're working with an agency, you want your reputation to be in a high standard, so definitely make sure you don't take too long with editing the images after the shoot. And usually I'll send the images via WeTransfer or Dropbox, whatever's easiest, and sometimes the modelling agencies have specific ways that they like to receive images, so maybe just check with them beforehand. And obviously at the end of all this, just remember to thank them for their time and for helping them organise with your shoot, because sometimes it can be a really grueling thing, and sometimes, you know, models will have to be switched during the planning of the shoot because maybe someone's not available, or you know, something happens, and, you know, it can get pretty complicated at times. So yeah, just remember to thank them. It is common courtesy. Alright guys, well I hope that helped answer any questions about approaching an agency. I know it can be quite scary when you first do it, but after you've done it a couple of times, it does become second nature and it becomes a lot easier. And generally a lot of agencies won't say no to letting you use a model, because especially if it's one of their new faces that, you know, they regularly need new things in their portfolio, so yeah, definitely don't be too scared of doing that. Alright guys, thanks again for watching.